States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start with roll call.
Downey. Here. Doobie.
Here.
Buck.
Here.
Spangler.
Here.
Wallum.
Here.
Phillips. Browning.
Here.
Proclamations.
So the first one we have, on April 6th, Jackson County Job and Family Services came and did the pinwheel planning, and the mayor proclaimed April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the city of Wellston. The second one, Rachel and I attended the Goodwill, I'm gonna mess up her name, Goodwill Industries of South Central Ohio on the 9th for their awards banquet, and we presented them with a proclamation from the mayor for beautification and employment. And the next one we have is Poppy Day, and Donna is here, so I will read this one. Whereas May 22nd, 2026 has been recognized for this year's American Legion Auxiliary Poppy Day, whereas during World War I, the poppy came to symbolize the blood left on the battlefield and was adopted on September 27th, 1920 as the official flower of the American Legion. Whereas the distribution of poppies became a national program of the American Legion in 1924, dedicated to raising funds to help current future veterans and their families. Whereas the city of Wellston has a long-standing tradition of support to this annual event. Whereas the American Legion Auxiliary Poppy Day is an event not only for the community and county, but for the entire nation to show their appreciation for the service and sacrifice of all veterans. Now therefore be it resolved, the city of Wellston shall observe May 22nd, 2026 as our celebration of American Legion Auxiliary Poppy Day.
She wanna come on up, sir?
I didn't bring your traditional copies that I usually give you, but that just means you're gonna have to bring down some auxiliary girls on the 22nd and 23rd of May and get a copy.
All right.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank
you.
Next up is the Jackson County Fair Board, and the mayor wanted to say some words.
So guys, this one here, we did 2 of these this year. We picked 2 groups. So next week is it runs the whole week for volunteerism. The federal government, they put out a thing asking everyone to recognize if there's 250 recognized groups in your community. So we went with the Fair Board in Ohilco. We'll talk about the Fair Board first. If you guys aren't aware of how much the Fair Board does for a community, it is shocking for our kids. Between all the, they also do the action plan. He can talk to it too if he wants to when he comes up here. And then they run all the events, not just the fair. They just did the Easter event. They do the October. They do it in the fall. They do the derbies. It's all year round. Those guys are out there working. That group of people. So we wanted to make sure we recognize something in our city of that magnitude, of that many volunteers working. It's an impressive group of people. So we'll go ahead and read the proclamation.
Whereas the United States of America will commemorate its 250th anniversary in 2026, marking a historic milestone dedicated to honoring the nation's founding ideals of freedom, civic responsibility, service, and community. And whereas the America 250 America Gives initiative calls upon communities across the nation to recognize organizations whose volunteerism, service, and leadership reflect the enduring American spirit of giving back. And whereas the Jackson County Fair Board plays a vital role in supporting youth development by providing opportunities for 4-H and FFA participants, youth exhibitors, and local students to showcase their skills, leadership, and dedication to agriculture and education. And whereas through year-round planning, maintenance, and volunteer coordination, the Jackson County Fair Board ensures that the fairgrounds serve as a gathering place for public events, family entertainment, and civic activities, strengthening social connections and shared traditions across generations. And whereas the members of the Jackson County Fair Board exemplify the values of volunteerism, stewardship, and civic leadership, contributing countless hours of service for the betterment of Jackson County and surrounding communities, including the residents of the city of Wellston. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the City of Wellston, Ohio, that we do hereby recognize and commend the Jackson County Fair Board for its outstanding service to the community, and that this recognition is presented as part of the American 250 America Gives initiative in appreciation of the Fair Board's enduring contributions to civic life, youth engagement, agricultural heritage, and the shared history of our region. And when this whereof, I have here to set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Wellston on the 16th of April, Mayor Anthony Broder.
Alright. We have our gentleman from the Fair Board.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
What are we looking at first?
Look at me. Ladies.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. My name's Chris Walls. This is Jamie Sexton. I'm the president. This is my second year as president. His first year as vice president. And we kind of got things rolling this year. We've got all kinds of events coming to the fairgrounds prior to the fair, after the fair. We've got a big truck show that we're planning. Jamie's leading that effort. The first weekend in June, the following weekend we have flat track motorcycle racing coming back. And if you haven't been over by there, you'll see a lot of moving parts going on right now. We're in the final stage of adding 30 new camp spots over there, full service spots over there. In 2 weeks, we're putting up another 1,000 feet of fence over through there, just trying to spruce things up to make things look a lot better. And this fella here, he lives and breathes the fair, whether it's middle of July or the middle of December. He spends majority of his weekends over there working his
31 years this year, so, wow, 31 years, so, like Chris said, we got a lot of events I'm on the livestock end of it, which you know is mostly the kids. May, we got a huge lamb and goat show coming to the area, and then we'll run our fair, of course. We do a fall lamb and goat show over there, the haunted barn, if you ain't ever all been to that. That brings in the community here, probably on a normal night, you'll have about 2,000 people do the whole month of that month, come here on 4 days. Comes through this community to come to that. So, and it's all ran by the kids. So the kids do it all. So it's a big event for all of us over there. And like I said, we're rolling in the right direction, I think, to it. So I would say it's appreciated. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Appreciate it.
Next up is Ohilco, and the mayor wanted to say a few words as well.
So the Ohilco is the other big group we decided to recognize. If you don't realize how many things the Ohilco group does, it's more than just the actual Ohilco. And they can, are you the only one here tonight?
Yeah.
So she can talk to them. But they also do, I don't know, I forget what you call it, it has a name, the treats on the street. There you go, Oktoberfest, so I'm messing up the name of it. But it's a very active group, and they do a lot for us, so we wanted to make sure we recognize them also. Go ahead.
Whereas the America 250 America Gives initiative encouraged communities across the nation to recognize organizations who serve creativity and leaderships, strengthen civic life, and reflect the enduring American tradition of giving back. And whereas the Wellston Ohilco Society has demonstrated a strong and ongoing commitment to community enrichment through the promotion of arts, music, cultural events, and creative placemaking within the city of Wellston and the surrounding Appalachian region. And whereas the Wellston Ohilco Society is the organizing force behind the Ohilco Festival, celebration of our nation, and the Ohilco Lights, which celebrates local music, artists, makers, and creativity, providing inclusive opportunities for residents and visitors to gather, connect, and celebrate place and heritage. And whereas through live music performances, community events, partnerships, and volunteer-driven initiatives, the Wellston Ohilco Society supports local artists and musicians, contributing to economic vitality and enhancing Wellston's identity as a welcome and creative community. And whereas the organization's efforts foster community pride, social connection, and cultural preservation, while encouraging civic participation and volunteerism in ways that strengthen the social fabric of Wellston. And whereas the members of the Wellston Ohilco Society exemplify the values of service, collaboration and stewardship, dedicating time and talent to initiatives that improve quality of life for residents of all ages. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the City of Wellston, Ohio, that we do hereby recognize and commend the Wellston Health Society for its outstanding service, leadership, and creative contributions to the community, and that this recognition is presented as part of the American 250 America Gives initiative in appreciation of the organization's dedication to arts, culture, volunteerism, and community engagement, and its meaningful role in shaping a vibrant and connected Wellston. In witness whereof, I have here to set my hand and cause seal of the City of Wellston, 16th day of April, Mayor Anthony Brenner.
Come on up, man. Could get Aaron to do this for you?
You wrote me into it.
Take 5 minutes for you, go ahead and,
Oh, goodness, thank you. I will say I am one of the newer members on the team, so there's still a lot of things that I'm learning with the committee. But I can say this committee does work very hard. The people that are on it takes a lot of thought and effort to put on the events that we do for the community, and it's been a very nice learning process for me, and I really enjoy the committee. So thank you so much for this. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it?
I mean, you want more? If you all with proclamations, if you don't want to stay for the entire meeting, you are welcome to leave if you'd like.
All right. This guy's a second.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
All right, public comment. Anybody for Will? So if you'll state your name and address, and we'll give you 3 minutes since you're not on the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Willard Ford, and I live at 628 West D Street. I'm here tonight because there's a serious infrastructure affecting my property and multiple neighboring properties, specifically collapsing culverts and active ground erosion that appears to follow a drainage path toward the bridge in West D Street. Over the past few weeks, we have documented multiple sinkholes forming in our yard. The ground is shifting and soil is actively disappearing, and underground piping is becoming exposed. This pattern of erosion continues beyond our property, can be seen across neighboring yards, which tells us clearly this isn't an isolated issue. In addition, there's been a continuous water flow at the front of our property for weeks. This water is running downhill across our driveway, creating unsafe conditions and likely contributing to the erosion that we're now seeing. We've made repeated attempts to resolve this through the proper channels. We have contacted the city engineer, the mayor, and members of council. While we've been told records are being reviewed, we've not been given clear answers, responsibility, or a timeline for action. Meanwhile, the damage hasn't stopped and it's getting worse. There's no longer a time for just inconvenience. It's a safety concern and a structural risk. Sinkholes and erosion don't fix themselves, and delays will only increase the scope and cost of the problem. We're not here to place blame, and we're just here to ask for accountability and action. At this point, we're requesting 3 specific things. First, a formal on-site inspection of the drainage and the culvert system affecting our property and the surrounding area. Second, a clear determination of responsibility for the infrastructure involved. And third, a defined plan and timeline for repair before further damage occurs. We're doing our part as homeowners to bring this forward. Now we need for the city to do its part and address the problem. We appreciate your time tonight, and we look forward to a clear response. Thank you.
Thank you. Hold on. Does anyone have any questions?
So can you tell me when the first time was that you reached out to the city?
It was about 2 weeks ago, ma'am.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago was when you first notified the city that there was an
Yes.
issue? Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
Mr. Walton, as soon as I made the complaint, Mr. Walton was right there, and I commend him for doing so.
Okay.
And I apologize for not getting back to you in a timely manner as far as email. I just hadn't checked the email, so my apologies on that.
I understand, ma'am.
I did go look at the issue. There's a 48-inch galvanized steel culvert. My guess is installed late 60s to early 70s. It's deteriorated. It's poor shape. It is within the bounds of his property. There are 2 culverts in that area. One runs just through the back of his property. It's on private property. I can't find where it was added during. I did go to the courthouse. Can't find where it was added to as part of a subdivision or any development like that. I did talk to Mr. Ford yesterday. There's some minimal patching he could do, but it's my opinion the culvert belongs to the property owner. It is on private property, not city property. We do share a mutual responsibility to maintain flow. I offered Mr. Ford, I told him it's possible if he bought the pipe, since we have to maintain the flow through the water, we could possibly install the pipe. I had a discussion with the mayor, but it's nothing that an open ditch wouldn't carry the same effect. It's not a roadway, it's someone's property.
Would the open ditch have to be on his property, or is there an alley there somewhere else that we could cut through?
Is there,
Yeah, we did the open ditch through that rest of that, through the housing development. If you remember over, what's the Winmac addition?
Winmac
We
addition.
put a ditch, there's an open ditch through there. We installed it on private property through that land, cause they have a very similar issue. We installed that open ditch.
is the water flow just natural water flow, or is it
It's
due to
natural water flow.
okay, a break?
It flows down past Winmac. He goes all the way up the hill there, kind of where it ends at. But we followed it whenever we fixed it in the Winmac addition. It just runs up the hill. It's just
Okay.
natural
It crosses
flow.
through that property on D Street, crosses goes through a culvert under the road, and then runs open for a while, and it crosses under 327 and actually exits into the street.
Okay, so it's not a water break or anything like that anywhere? Okay.
Would it have been possible to have that put in without an easement? Back when they put it
I
in?
doubt it because it is on a singular piece of property. If it would have
You
covered.
know, he's mentioned neighbors at the same.
There's another piece. There's another culvert right down
There's
front.
another
It's a different.
There's another stick of culvert on someone else's. There's a gap, and then there's another stick of culvert.
It would have been of no benefit to the city. I mean, we have a lot of open ditches. I
Mhm.
can't imagine it would just be confined to a single piece straight across the property.
And was the house there when the culvert was put in, you think, or?
I'm guessing the house was built in the late 60s, early 70s.
It was board, 1971, sir.
Yeah.
And I did talk to the auditor, and that is a city, like a little subdivision back here, but we can't find anything where it was developed or any plans for development back then. It's probably just houses built and.
So it sounds like you're aware of it, that you're looking into possible solutions and having some open conversations, and so there's not been a final answer or anything like that. We're still having conversations and we're still exploring.
He legitimately tried to find a way to make it our fault. He did. He went out, I mean, that's what he was doing. He was literally trying to find a way that it would be us. That way, we would fix it, at no cost to put it back. But we would never put a culvert across the yard like that. If we go in and fix it, it's gonna be an open ditch. 'Cause that's what we do. So.
You probably don't want that, do you?
Would you be satisfied with an open ditch?
An open ditch right in the middle of our,
It's
Yeah.
in the middle of his
Yeah.
yard.
You can't route it around, just at the edge of his
You're
property?
taking on the other.
I'd have to put it on
Right.
someone else's land to do
Well,
that.
and I guess, finding a solution tonight probably isn't gonna happen because it's such a big problem.
Yeah.
yes.
As far as what council does, we look at budgets, we approve budgets, we pass ordinances and things like that. I think, in my opinion, you're probably in the best hands possible with our service director and our mayor, and with that continuing dialogue to try to find a solution to fix that.
And as we discussed the day before, I will be there Monday.
Okay, cool. Cool.
That may also be of note that there is a whole section where that fence is that was supposed to be an addition to the alleyway, Bryan Street, and to this day, we don't know who owns that little strip where the fence is? Does the apartments own it? Do we own it? Does the city own it? We don't know.
It's undeveloped roadways, the city owns it, but whatever it's undeveloped, basically is cut in the middle and both homeowners own half of it if it's undeveloped.
Because on this one side, there's a bunch of overgrowth and just, it's a horrible mess. That's on this side of our fence, so I don't know whose responsibility it is to bush hog all that.
You said that's between Dee and Brian?
No, it's on Brian.
On Brian,
It's
okay.
It's an undeveloped street between his house.
I gotcha.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else?
Thank you so
Oh, I
much.
appreciate
Thank you for your
coming.
time.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, all those in favor of approving the meeting minutes last meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Correspondence?
Ethics Commission filing reminder.
Did you do that? You already did it, right?
He's talking.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Any reports, special committees?
No.
Old business? New business? Move on to legislation then.
Second reading of resolution number 2026-15, a resolution authorizing the mayor, service director, and any other necessary official to enter into an agreement with the County of Washington regarding the custody, supervision, confinement, and board of prisoners.
Any discussion?
First reading of ordinance number 2026-12, an ordinance approving additional appropriations in certain line items of the Recreation Fund from Recreation Fund carryover funds and declaring an emergency.
His sponsor?
Spangler.
Discussion.
We have took on some more responsibilities with rec this year, and we are just adding some money to that account so they can write their own purchase orders. They're underfunded right now, so we have to do an override anytime they write a purchase order, so this would give the rec department the ability to write their own purchase orders by appropriating this fund.
And this needs to be an emergency?
It's just gonna slow it down. We're getting into ball season, umpires and everything, so we were wanting to do it.
Sure, okay. Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Spangler,
Buck.
second.
Go ahead.
Downey?
Yes.
Doobie?
Yes.
Buck?
Yes.
Spangler?
Yes.
Woolen?
Yes.
Browning?
Motion to adopt and carry.
I have a, I
Oh,
have
sorry.
a question on it.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay, can I ask a question on it at this point? Am I able to ask a question? on
Yeah,
it?
just ask a question.
So right now, it talks about coming from the carryover funds from the recreation department. We don't have carryover funds in recreation.
Carryover from, the rec is out of the general fund.
Yeah, it'd be carried.
the general fund.
Okay, okay, because I know we're in the hole with that.
Yeah.
Where's this money at?
You're 100% correct. It'll be out of the general
That's my
fund.
typo.
Okay, all right, thank you.
From her error.
Okay.
You are correct.
Browning?
Yeah, oh, yes.
All right.
Motion to adopt and carry. Or pass, sorry, carry. Oh my gosh.
I'll second that, I think.
Downey?
Yes.
Doobie?
Yes.
Buck?
Yes.
Spangler?
Yes.
Woolen?
Yes.
Browning?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance number 2026-16, an ordinance approving additional appropriations in the sewer transfer out fund from the 606 sewer fund and declaring an emergency.
Sponsor?
Buck.
Any discussion?
This does not need to be an emergency. Yep, I didn't even know this was gonna make the thing tonight, so we'll let us go a week on that one so we can, we talked about it and I didn't know it was gonna get put on here, so we'll discuss that one next week, that's all right.
Okay. Hmm.
First reading of resolution number 2026-17, a resolution authorizing the service safety director to enter into an agreement with the Jackson County Land Reutilization Corporation for mowing certain properties located within the city and authorizing the director to establish fees sufficient to cover the city's costs and declaring an emergency.
So this one is
Yeah,
the
I need a
land bank.
sponsor first. This, somebody, sponsor.
Downey.
So, this one, the land bank, we make the land bank cut their properties in town, and every year they send that out for contract. There's only two places land bank has to cut properties, here in Jackson. So we offered to cut them as the city of Wellston would do it for them for much less than what they were what they now for. They're paying over $100 to cut property. We offered basically for the cost of labor, 2 guys for an hour and a mower, $40 will cut the property. It'll save them money, and then we're helping out another.
How many
organization.
properties do they have?
3, I think, right
Oh.
now. 3 or 4, yeah.
And we're code out, it's coming.
Codes here.
Yeah.
They're cutting grass, so we're gonna make a few bucks. It's nothing, but it's gonna help them out, so.
Okay.
And it doesn't, we can let it go. Just know that it's gonna be $40. It's gonna be the agreement, so it's no big deal. We can write a reading.
Okay.
And how often do you cut that?
Probably to keep it below a foot, it's probably gonna be once a month.
Okay, and then what is our cost that we charge the people that we run around town knocking on their doors?
What's the normal cost?
Yeah.
That's more like a fine, keep in mind. So
I thought that was like $250 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And
But
how
if
are
those
they
people wanna
fined? Is that
contract
added
with
to
us, I
their
guess we could-
taxes,
That,
or-
well, I'm just trying
It
to
is
say.
assessment to the property taxes.
Okay.
Anybody have anything else?
First reading of ordinance number 2026-18, an ordinance to repeal in its entirety ordinance 2021-63 that established the position of public works supervisor.
The sponsor?
Downey.
Okay.
We already discussed this position sitting empty.
First reading of ordinance number 2026-19, an ordinance repealing ordinance 3206 and removing section 30.04 from the codified ordinances of the city.
The sponsor?
Spangler.
Once again, we discussed this is the same position, but when it was in the union, and it takes a lot more to remove it because it was throughout the ordinance, so, codified ordinance, so that removes that position. And if in the future the city overgrows the capacity and we wanna bring those back, I just wanted it to come back to city council to get approved. I didn't want them there to be able to hire to them. I wanted you guys to make sure you knew what was happening.
First reading of ordinance number 2026-20, an ordinance authorizing the annual salary increase of 1.5% for the service safety director.
The sponsor?
Downey.
I don't think that came in correct. That was also supposed to change his base salary, and it didn't. You didn't add the change in the base salary to it? I don't see it on that. So we'll amend it before the next meeting, but it was also supposed to change the base salary, as we previously discussed. So I'll have that changed before the next meeting. So the 1.5 will be there also, but we'll fix it before the next meeting.
So is that a every year annual increase of 1.5?
Yeah, so 1.5. We
Okay.
put it dramatically below the inflation rate, that way we'd never exceed the inflation rate, but we'll fix it before the next meeting.
All right.
First reading of ordinance number 2026-21, an ordinance approving additional appropriations in police vehicle maintenance from general carryover funds and declaring an emergency.
The sponsor?
Bach.
Okay, so I talked a few meetings ago about our fleet and how we had 2-3 cars down. This is to pay for the repairs we had done. I had new engines put in 2 different cars. This is to pay those bills. And then we anticipate having another fairly major repair to the Officer Blue mobile, and this would cover that too. So the funds were put in. We sold a piece of equipment for the city on Gov Deals this year, and that's the money we're asking to use. So
Okay. Yeah, motion to suspend rules?
Hang on, let me ask a question.
Okay, sure, I'm sorry.
Because that's the reason why I asked this, hang on a minute, Keith. That's the reason why I asked for this specific. So the general fund, we've taken 30,000 out tonight off of a transfer that
Rec.
asked for 30,000.
Rec department.
That came out of the general fund because you told me it wasn't out of no rec funds, we're in the hole. Okay, so I take that deal. And then now you're asking for, and then I'm just wanting to make sure I got my numbers right, because this is why I asked for this.
Yep.
So now I'm getting $25,000 out of my general fund.
And, just to kind of cover where some of this come from, we received a notification a couple weeks ago that several years ago, the city overpaid more than sold. So we were refunded $20,000
Okay.
from the general fund.
Right.
We sold it.
Is that in there? Is that balance already included in it?
No,
It's
this
not,
is
okay.
for one.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, and since then, We have also sold a piece of equipment through Gov Deals that brought in $35,000.
Okay.
So, those two were money that we did not have, so those moved back.
Okay,
Those-
so they're not, those sales
Those-
aren't reflected on
They
this
aren't
sheet?
reflected in these
Okay.
tables.
All right, thank you. All right, now you can go, Keith, sorry.
I already made mine.
And I'll second if you need one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Cooperation, that's what
Write that down. Downey,
Yes.
Doobie,
Yes.
Bach,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Woolen,
Yes.
Browning.
Yes. Do you need a motion to adopt and pass salary review this one for an emergency?
Is this an emergency?
Yes,
Okay, I'll second.
Or suspend rules maybe?
we just did that.
Okay.
Downey,
Yes.
Doobie,
Yes.
Bach,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Woolen,
Yes.
Browning.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
All right. Move over here. All right, I'll start out with, I wanted to make sure we make Wellston beautiful. If you didn't see it on Facebook today, or if you were downtown, she put together a group of, young adults, who went down and cleaned up, not only Pride Park, they were actually out on the bike path. I think some of them went down to Blamer. I know they were with the Pants Factory. They even cleaned up some of the alleys through town they were working, so, I wanna thank that group for helping out, and getting the downtown cleaned up. We got, obviously, we got prom coming up here soon, so it's a good time. They planted flowers around the depot, and, I believe Mindy went out and picked them up some, flowers to plant, so, it was a good day, downtown, getting everything cleaned up. We just got awarded, just under 200,000. What was the exact amount? Did you say, was it one? I didn't even see the exact amount. It was under 200,000.
SDVG 199.
199, so what, just, right,
Change.
yeah, just under $200,000. To help with the, Pennsylvania Avenue reconstruction project, so we are moving forward with that. We've already started to work with DLG to get ready. Mainly, the main thing that project will add is on 13th Street, that intersection's gonna get fixed. If you haven't paid much attention to that intersection, it's a hot mess. So it's gonna help fix that a little bit. And then also it's gonna put in a turn lane down through there, which is probably the biggest issue that area has, is that it just bottlenecks at those red lights, and it's a nightmare to get through there, so. And we're trying to put a turn lane in for McDonald's, even from both directions, so hopefully we'll get that area, cleaned up in the coming years and get it going. What else did we do? Oh, we did, phase 2 for the water plant, got bid out, on Tuesday, they get open on May 5th on Tuesday. Was it Monday they put out, or Tuesday? What day we do one? I can't remember.
Bid walk was
This week's been a blur. Tuesday we did bid walk. So we had 3 contractors show up for it, which is a good turnout for something like that. So we're excited to get phase 2 going. Just so you know, this project's already been broken up into 3 phases. So this phase 1, phase 2, and then now we're, phase 3, we've already officially added it to the agenda, which is gonna be the water tower that we discussed, with the direct line. So we are moving forward. Phase 2 is now out for bid, which will keep that project going. We're kinda under a time crunch for it, because we had to get it, out to keep our funding streams in line. The grants that we've applied for, they all have time limits on them, so we're kinda in a time crunch moving forward, so that's why we had this. Phase 1's not even halfway done yet, we got phase 2 going out for bid, but it was just so we could meet the timeline. We awarded the bid, well, we're gonna be awarding the bid, we just have to go through review, but for, New York Avenue, widening it came in dramatically under bid, where we thought it was gonna be. It was projected to be over a $500,000 project, it came in at $300,000. So we're actually hoping that maybe we might have to put in a little bit of funds out of sewer, but we're hoping that we can extend that project all the way up 1 more block, and get 2 blocks worth of work out of that grant. So that came in, the bids were very competitive, they were all close, everyone local, so it came in, 306, yeah.
Would that take us to, what, 14th Street?
No.
Not quite?
No, it's going, it'll take us to, what is that?
12.
Yeah.
12.
Okay.
So,
and it'll look just like, so now as you go that direction, you know how New York right now, suddenly it stops being a street and it turns into an alley? It'll look the same for 2 more blocks now, going southbound, so we're excited for that.
So what's the plans for the railroad track there? We're just gonna go over them?
They're gone.
No, not there.
I mean, they still have the right of way if they wanted to put
Yeah,
it.
they're right, they can always put a train in if they want to, yeah.
But the rails are going too, everything's going?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so, yep, that's going, campground update, so we're pretty excited about the campground now. We finally got to the phase where we're gonna be allowed to bid out, the first grade of the campground. It's been a very long process, we're not all the way through all of the permitting yet, but we are really pushing down on it, but we've gotten to the point where we're allowed to break ground. So that'll be going out for bid real soon, to do the dirt work and to level it all off. So, yeah, we're pretty excited. That one's been, what's been now 3 years, maybe 4 years we've been working on that. It's been a bit, so I'm pretty excited to get to actually break ground and move some dirt. So that one will be starting real soon. What else did I have? Oh, Greg couldn't be here tonight. She couldn't be here tonight. Opening day went well. Over 350 kids, 400 if you count, there's almost 400 if you put the high school kids in there on top of that number. 33 teams. There was a packed house down there. If you haven't been, it was just a great day because we had good weather. It just turned out really, really well. Police and fire departments were out supporting it. It went extremely well. So she did a great job. She's finally getting into her stride now. This is going on year 2. She's finding her stride. She did a great job. It went well.
Except for the PA system.
There's only one person to blame for that. I don't want to point fingers.
I told her that before next year, we need to get her a bullhorn just as a backup. If that doesn't,
Yeah.
that's 2 years in a row.
I told her next year I'm running a wire. I'm gonna have to wire.
Something, yeah.
Brand new microphones, 500 foot range.
It was a struggle.
You were so angry when it was happening. I thought you were it, but she did not.
Were they Bluetooth? Or were they?
They're just wireless.
Wireless.
They
Okay.
were wireless mics, and they were long range the day before they worked to the fence. That day they would.
Oh, that
The
sounds
wind was hitting them, it was windy, that was hurting them, and then just the crowd, there's just a lot going on. So the interference was high on them. But we'll get it. Been what, 5-6 years ago, Mike's haven't worked down there, so one more year, one on it. But anyway, other than that, I would ask that we have an executive session at the end if you don't mind. I need a few minutes. Other than that, we are good to go.
Okay.
All right, our water usage is still up. We're losing more than we sell. So we're continuing to look for the leak.
So that wasn't a meter thing, it's a leak thing.
We're starting over with a grid pattern, we're going to work through the city, we've reached out to a higher level of water, we're going to continue to see what we're doing. Hopefully, once we get to the new plan, a lot of this will go away, but we're continuing to look. We've started our seasonal street patching, a lot of water leaks and several issues over the winter months. The asphalt plants is open, we poured some concrete, worked on some of that. We've started our code mowing, they're out working, doing city properties and some code. We have also started mowing in the cemetery, and we have started another phase of the new cemetery expansion. The contractor's in performing some of that work. We're also partnering with Jackson on the BWC training next week. This will be the 3rd one we've done together with them. And that's about all I have.
We forgot Mindy's big success this week. I failed to mention it too. She got us $200,000 from, who was it from again? I don't want to mess it up. Ohio EPA. We're going to be buying a chipper and a truck to put chips in. We're debating right now what's the best option. We're looking at like a grappling truck or a roll-off or whatever the best use of that money is. Hopefully we can find a truck that we can somehow also put a plow to so we can use it in the winter, not just have a summer truck. But we're shopping that right now, but she did a great job, got us another $200,000 for equipment. So we're excited for that.
What are we gonna do with that?
So, mainly, pick up limbs.
Okay.
That was the, so we could.
So it'd be open for anybody that has limbs, or is it just gonna be?
That'll be the goal for, yeah, this ain't gonna be like a city-only thing, but yeah, no, it'll be for everyone, but yeah, that's one thing right now, we just don't have the means. That's why we're talking about a grappling truck, because that way we could just drive and pick up limbs, or we could chip. One thing we struggle right now, we just don't have a means to deal with it.
Right.
So
And
right
after
now.
all the wind that we've had, there's a lot.
Oh, there is, there always is, and we currently have truly no way to deal with it. So this is why we chased this grant, and she went after it for us. But it's going to fix a problem that we have here that we don't truly have a way to deal with conveniently. Right now, we drive around pickup trucks and pick them up. So it was a good grant. We're excited to get it, and it'll hopefully we'll figure out the best option, the best bang for the dollar that we can do with the truck. So.
Good job, Mindy. Thank you.
Way to go.
Oh.
$1 an hour paid out, didn't it, boys?
Large hall. The large hall this coming.
27.
27.
22nd. 27.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well,
Your stuff.
Well, you'll have your stuff out there.
I'll have my
early.
stuff out there early.
We'll
So
pick
the
it
week
up
of the
early and charge
27th. And it's only on,
Only on your normal trash day.
okay.
Okay.
Yep.
You don't have to call the city, you just put it out there.
Yep. We'll run the routes every day.
And follow all the rules as far as covering and taping and, yep.
Three
okay.
No
feet
appliances, no tires.
by
Yep.
6 feet by 4 feet, is that right?
Roughly, yeah. We're not gonna be out there with a yardstick, but yeah. If it's more than what that hopper can compress. Okay, I lied. We're gonna measure one person's.
And inspect it. All right. Mr. Kirby, got anything?
No.
Mr. Auditor? Oh, it's not here.
So you
We'll
have
do that.
3 pieces of, you'll see in your packet, line item transfers that need to be approved.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the line item transfers?
Aye.
Aye.
Sounds like that passes.
Statement of cash position and expense reports are in your email, and you guys have already went over your cash balance.
The treasurer's report?
No treasures, but we do have the city clerk's March sales and consumption.
Rec's not here, fire's not here, zoning's not here. John?
Since the last meeting in mid-March, we've had an officer who we hired last May. He submitted his notice and resigned, went to work in the private sector. So that puts us short police officers again.
How many now?
The one that has been off is still off. And now there's the one that we hired. We're basically in a position now that we were in before Darrow came back. Luckily, we gave a test, a civil service test. We established a list with that test. We're working through that now to exhaust that list. It doesn't look promising, so we're going to post that we're hiring police officers again. And when we find one, we'll probably need to do that as an emergency, which I'm sure that we can do. So just bringing you up to speed. So if you got any questions for me, I'm here.
When you have the vehicles worked on, you use local mechanics?
We try to use our in-house mechanic as much as possible. The motor replacement was so extensive, we actually had Dodge do it, so we had the Dodge dealership do it. It was local in Jackson,
Okay.
but yeah, that's, yep.
Okay. Just curious.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have anything else? Need a motion to go into executive session.
I motion.
Spangler. Okay. Downey?
Yes.
Doobie?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Spangler?
Yes.
Worland?
Yes.
Downey? 7:40.
Purpose is for,
Personnel.
employee personnel issues and contract